Hi, Lucy, Gabriel and Patrick here from Channel 31 and we're at Parliament House. We've been talking today to kids at the School State Constitutional Convention about budget crisis and the federal government.
Today in the program, we'll be asking kids if we are actually in a financial crisis.
The responses we got were absolutely amazing and very interesting. I hope you enjoy watching.
One of the questions is this about having a surplus or is this about essential services? And in my opinion, the government should first focus on essential services rather than trying to say, well, what should we cut? The first question should be, well, what do we need?
No, I don't believe we're in a budget crisis. There are obviously, inefficiencies in the budget at the moment, specifically regarding support for people in low socioeconomic status.
Look, in our opinion, it's probably just debt. It's all overplayed. The fact that they are making it out to be a budget crisis is pure nonsense. It's because of the whole financial crisis, in my opinion. Countries in debt, another country struggling, especially America and that. And Australia's just trying to follow suit, trying to take precautions not to be in that same situation.
Crisis or just debt?
I think where a lot of us differ on this is we talk about what the budget crisis is, whether it's the actual budget deficit itself, which a lot of us see it as structural deficit, so it's not a crisis in that sense. We see it more of the crisis in terms of how the budget is being allocated to certain parts of society.
Yeah.
I think I'm on the same page as Farouk. While we do have debt in the budget, I feel it's controllable because in a budget you can allocate funds, which means that you can potentially cut back in certain areas and save money, thus reducing your debt.
Alright, so who has been the most affected, the lower, middle or upper class?
It's very difficult to say that right now. I mean, obviously in terms of privatization of education, the inclination would be to say that the lower classes and low socioeconomic classes are affected the most. However, as we've argued in certain groups, privatization could actually aid them in the sense that it would lower the price, the equilibrium price for tertiary education through a free market forces. So we think right now we can't exactly tell how the budget will affect all parts of society, but obviously the focus today has mostly been on lower socioeconomic classes.
And Isaac, what brought you here today? What made you interested?
I think just a real passion for politics and interest in meeting other people who also share that interest. And also, I guess, just in general, it's really hard to find people my age who actually care and aren't indifferent about politics. So I think today's been a real opportunity to do so.
Oh, thank you. And last but not least, do you see a career as a politician in the future?
I don't know. Obviously, working in these sorts of groups and environments when I'm in my formative years will obviously help towards that. But I'll see what the future brings.
Deficit.
Yeah, deficit.
You seem pretty sure.
100%. Yep, very.
To say a budget crisis is a little bit like... It's political spin designed to soften up an electorate, and you can hardly say we have a budget crisis because we're clearly able still to pay our bills and we're not... The public service is still functioning relatively well.
Yep.
Okay, but who do you think will be affected most by this budget crisis? The middle class, the upper class, or the working class?
I've answered this lots today.
Yeah. Well, I'd say that the lower classes will find the budget hardest, but that's not to say that other classes won't find it challenging and
difficult.
Well, I don't think we're exactly in a crisis. I think people just have reacted badly, and rightly so, to the budget. And we are in a debt, but I don't think it warrants the use of the word crisis.
Yep.
So my opinion is that it's not a crisis yet, but in the upcoming years it could be. So it's better to handle the situation now while we can and not let it get any further.
And how can we handle the situation now?
Well, so what we're trying to think of as a group and as we're here today is about not cutting the essentials that everybody needs, but is finding places where we can improve and save our money for now. So pocket that away.
Yep, and why are you guys here today?
Well, our school has pretty much cut the political subjects, and this is the only way that we can get some sort of voice heard about our own political opinions. And we went to the regional convention at our school and really enjoyed it. So.
Yeah, and we have a new teacher, and she's very young and enthusiastic and wants to let us, see this side of the world, and it's a good way to do it. So that's why we're here.
So could politics be a possible
career?
Oh, I wouldn't say politics for me, but I do like the public speaking and like the debate side of things. So a job like that includes that.
Yeah, so I want to do business communications, and that has a large influence from politics, so it's good to get a background knowledge.
No worries, so thank you for your time.
I think that lower class people will probably be the most affected because they're the ones that can't afford a $7 gap on their Medicare payment or the extra expenses that will be associated with tertiary education.
Okay. Definitely the lower class will be the most heavily affected for the same reasons.
And what influenced you to come here today?
Especially the Youth Parliament of Victoria. I was a member of that and leader of the government. And so any opportunity to debate policy and practice public speaking in Parliament was great, something I really want to be involved in.
Do you see a career as a politician?
I think one day going into politics would be a good idea, but not just as yet. I don't think I could be a career politician. I've got to have a life first.
I think not just debt. I think it's more a deficit problem. I think the debt problem isn't really the main concern. Once we get out of this deficit, I think debt will be actually quite controllable, really. And I think it's only, just a short-term cyclical thing that Australia should be able to deal with.
Move closer forward. Yeah, that's pretty good. Hi. Oh, that's on.
Yeah, it's already
Can we turn these off? Hello. I think
recording.
these are on. Are these on?
Yes, they are.
Doesn't matter.
Can the man in the red jacket please be removed from the building?
Oh, I don't feel now if you want to do this.
3, 2, 1.
Hi, Lucy here with Gabriel and Patrick from class